Film noir is a popular movie genre that became prevalent in the 1940s when a French filmmaker brought this style over to the US. It directly translates to black film, which refers to the black and white movies shot at the time. However, film noir is not limited to just the black and white filter. Many classic noir movies have been filmed in color and still portray noir elements like low-key and high-key lighting, the Dutch angle, and more. A good example of this is Niagara, which was a movie filmed in color right when it became popular. It was shot in great quality and looked like a more modern film, but contained certain aspects that made it a token noir movie. Some movies like The Maltese Falcon and Out of the Past emphasize the danger and mysterious vibe you get from a noir movie. This clip from The Maltese Falcon is a perfect example of film noir, due to the smoking, a repetitive motif in this genre, and the low-key lighting that emphasizes shadows on Cairo's face. The main films we will discuss today are Devil in a Blue Dress and Murder My Sweet. Murder My Sweet is a well-known film noir movie, while Devil in a Blue Dress is a neo-noir movie. Devil in a Blue Dress was the first neo-noir movie to feature a black private detective. They both stay true to the typical noir theme through the cynical hero, the femme fatale, and the overall negative outlook on life. This is displayed through the lighting, recurring themes, and more.
I'm gonna show you what I do to people so they see things they ain't seen. Seen where?
Devil in a Blue Dress more openly confronts racial tensions in Los Angeles than Murder My Sweet. We see this in the relationship between the protagonist and the police, the inclusion of more people of color, and how it more directly shows the way race is connected to privilege.
She was still convinced, though, that her Negro blood didn't matter, now that Terrell couldn't use it to keep the man she wanted to marry out of the Maz race.
Let's talk about Easy and Marlowe's relationships with the police. Marlowe sometimes works with the police in order to help solve his cases, but looks down on them. In this clip, Marlowe is able to have a casual conversation with the police and even crack a few jokes. Later, he begins to raise his voice at the authority figures, threatening them to go ahead and arrest him.
You'll get their murderer and I'll get the guy that did it.
You'll get him all right. By the time he gets your third set of teeth.
For Easy, it's a completely different situation. In the movie, he's treated horribly by the police. For example, this interaction starts with Easy being led into a room, but quickly becomes physical for not cooperating. His behavior is seen as uncooperative to the police simply because it isn't what they want to hear. Another difference between the two characters is what motivates them to solve crimes. Easy is primarily motivated by the American dream. He puts a lot of importance on his house, especially as a symbol of his independence. After losing his job, he's struggling to pay his mortgage and faces foreclosure. This puts him in a unique position when he first meets Albright because he needs a source of income in order to keep his house. The main thing that motivates Marlowe is money. Throughout the movie, we see him constantly bartering with his clients to earn more. In this clip, Marlowe has no interest in meeting with Moose until he offers Marlowe money for his time. We even see Marlowe ignoring a phone call, potentially new business or important news, in order to follow Moose's money trail. However, Marlowe doesn't need the money to survive. Yes, he needs to pay bills and whatnot, but the movie shows no signs that money is tight for him. Another thing is the fact that he always believes he's the best person to complete the job. Earlier, we covered how Marlowe has always doubted the incompetence of the police, so much so that he takes over the job to do it his way. Enough with Marlowe. Let's discuss how the movie adaptation of Devil in a Blue Dress differs from the novel. One major difference we noticed was in the scene where Easy tries to get his job back. On page 68, Easy tells Mr. Giacomo to call him Mr. Rollins and demands respect from him. He blocks Mr. Giacomo on his way out so he can further state his point. Easy thinks, I wasn't going to bow down to him. That's Mr. Rollins, I said as I rose to meet him. You don't have to give me my job back, but you have got to treat me with respect. This characterizes Easy as proud and unapologetic. On the other hand, in the movie the scene is much shorter, only including Easy restating his name.
Huh? My name's not Fella. My name is Ezekiel Rollins.
The lack of this scene paints Easy as less prideful and more conforming to injustice, since he is fired for an invalid reason and does not stand up for himself in the way he did in the novel. In the book, before Easy and Mouse storm off, his second conscience says he ain't worth living.
Tell me what happened, Junior. Maybe I'll forget what I know. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell Mouse to shoot you. Because, you know, I don't like your monkey ass, and he don't like you either. Now, you killed that man. You took his money, didn't you?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Didn't you? You just had to rob him, didn't you?
I didn't. I didn't touch nothing in that man's house.
Not only does Franklin leave out Easy's second voice for this clip, he excludes it from the entire movie. This creates a wall between the viewers and Easy's thought process. A possible reason for this is it may have been difficult for the audience to differentiate between the voice and Easy's actual narration.
Give me some whiskey, Easy.
Liquor's in the cabinet. You get it your damn self.
To reiterate, Devil in a Blue Dress more openly confronts racial tensions in Los Angeles than Murder My Sweet. We see this in the relationship between the protagonist and the police, the inclusion of more people of color, and the more expository take on racial tensions.